Do I look fat?
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Do I Look Fat podcast. This week's guest is a talented rapper and host of the Lick Your Rapper podcast, a newly signed artist whose song Meet Me dropped on October 14th, and the cutest girl in Virginia, my girl, Imani Blair. Hey boo.
Hello, what's up, what's up, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
You have a lot of things going on. I see the green screen in the background. You're always telling people to buy the green screen.
Yeah, well, because as independent artists, right, when you are an artist, my stuff has to look just as good as artists who aren't independent. You know, because technically, I'm not only going against all the other indie artists, I'm competing against mainstream artists as well. I don't want to use the term compete, but you know what I'm saying? We're all competing for attention on the internet. So, you know, when somebody looks at your shit, it has to be good. And so what happens is we pay people to create content for us, but that's a lot of money. You know, there's already a lot we have to pay for. So I just learned how to do it myself, and I encourage other artists to like learn how to just do it yourself, you know?
Right. Regardless of whatever, you know, avenue you're in, whether you're a rapper, a singer, a podcaster, like we're podcasters from home. I'm in my pajamas right now recording this podcast, but you know, I learned how to do it. You invest in yourself and all of that. So that's just the way to go for sure. Your videos are so cute. Your flash Freestyle Fridays is what they're called. And
well, it's funny because at first I was doing them like every single Friday, and then like quarantine hit and I just kind of got depressed, so I stopped doing them. And then I dropped it on a Thursday, so I don't know if it's still Freestyle Fridays. I'm thinking about doing like Monzy Mondays. I don't know. We'll see.
I love it. So I'm assuming Monzy comes from your name, right? Imani.
So my name is Imani, and when I was a baby, my daddy, he used to call me Monzy Wanzy. That was his nickname for me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so for a while, that's all I responded to. Like I didn't respond to Imani, I responded to Monzy Wanzy. You know, so yeah. So when I started rapping, I always loved rappers with nicknames like Weezy F Baby, please say the baby. You know, I just think it's so dope when people have like cool nicknames. So like Monzy Wanzy, like that's one of mine.
That is adorable. Okay, I love that. I really do. Okay, so before we start this week's episode, I wanted to do like a quick icebreaker kind of game. I usually do a this or that with my guests, okay? So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I want you to choose which one out of the two options and why. Okay, so the first one is, would you rather listen to only old Broadway music or only Christmas music?
For me, it would be old Broadway music because I'm a Broadway stan. So like, yeah, that's a part. When I was in high school, I did theater, and I'm a Broadway stan. I'm obsessed with Broadway. I love Broadway. I think Christmas is just too repetitive. At least with old Broadway, you could get a lot of different songs. With Christmas, it's like, okay, after like 10 songs, you're hearing the same one over again, just a different rendition, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, what would you say was your favorite Broadway musical?
That I've ever seen in person, The Wiz.
Okay. I saw that you were on it. Didn't you play Dorothy?
Yeah, I was Dorothy. Yeah. I have so many. The Wiz in person, Wicked. And a lot of people don't like this show. You have to be really open-minded, but Book of Mormon was extremely entertaining.
So I love Broadway. I'm from New York, so I've been to a bunch of Broadway shows. I've seen Wicked in person.
It's the best.
Wicked is amazing. And
Wicked is incredible.
It's so good. And I don't know, there were a series of books. I think whoever wrote Wicked wrote a bunch of other books. And he wrote one that was from the perspective of the evil stepsisters, which was so fire from Cinderella. It was so good. So good. So if anybody wants to check that out,
that sounds good. One thing before we get off the Broadway topic, I really, really appreciate Broadway because I feel like in my industry, talent isn't really like a driving force anymore. Whereas Broadway, you have to be talented. You have to be the top of the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like my industry talent isn't always, well, it's like mostly not.
If you have a look then, you can kind of wing it in a way.
Right. And sometimes even if you don't have a look.
Well, not even when I say a look, it's like a swag almost. Like you have to have something that pulls people to you.
Personality.
Yeah, for sure. Me, I love Christmas music. If anybody knows me, I listen to a Motown Christmas. That's my favorite album of all time. Like, I fucking love it. And I start listening to it like in November. So right after Halloween, I get into my Christmas spirit and the Christmas music. It's
but
amazing.
Could you do it all year? Because I love it when it's time. Like, I love, when it's the season. It's like pumpkin. I love pumpkin spice shit. But I think only because it's like, it's time,
It's the fall, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes some songs I can listen to all year round.
For real.
It just depends, but I love Christmas music. I do like Broadway music as well. I've tried to get my son into Broadway shows. So there's a company up here called TDF, and they focus on bringing Broadway shows to kids with like disabilities.
That is so nice.
So each year, they didn't do it this year, obviously, because of COVID, but each year they would have special screenings of these shows. So they would just have it for kids that have,
and would it be like
needs.
A lower volume or like lights a little different?
Right.
That's
so it won't
nice.
be as like, stimulating.
Yeah.
But they still get the show. They still get the music, the acting, and all of that. They have like, they separate the people so that if you need to get up, like if they need a break, and then they have like spaces outside. Yeah, it's so fire. So we've seen Aladdin, we've seen Lion King, we saw
dope.
One of the Spider-Man things. Like we've gone a couple of times, and it's just amazing, and I love it.
Yeah.
So every time they have that, every time I get my email, I jump on it because those tickets go quick, and then they're cheap. They are discounted.
Awesome.
It's so fire.
But they should do that more often,
Yeah.
like once it's back and running, it should be more than once a year. That's important because I feel like, especially anybody with disabilities, music is really the fuel, So
no, it is.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially for my son. My son loves music.
Yeah.
He loves all types of music. So I'm for all of that. Okay. So the next question is, would you rather attend the Grammys one time or attend the MTV Music Awards every year for 5 years?
MTV Music Awards every year for 5 years? Are you kidding me? First off, the VMAs are lit. Like the VMAs, it's always going to be the most popular artist. Like, every artist that I love has always had a sweep. Like, I remember Drake winning. He like won like 20 awards. Beyonce won like it's for like VMAs is way more my generation and my culture. Right. Whereas like the Grammys, I just feel like it's a bunch of old ass white men who don't even know our culture,
who
voting
songs
on
we've
shit.
never heard of. Like every time a song wins, I'm like, I've never heard this song ever in my life. Like at least pick a popular white song.
I went to audio engineering college. So a lot of my professors are audio engineers in the industry. One is on the Grammy board, and he literally told us that when they send him for his vote, he just picks he picks the person he doesn't know. He's like, I pick the underdog. I just check anybody I don't know. I just check it off. Like he told us that, and this is a person who's a voter.
Yeah.
So after that, like one of my dreams used to be to win a Grammy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna turn it away if they want to give it to me. Thank you, Thank you, white man. Thank you. But it's not the end all be all like it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. Okay, so I'm gonna do two more. Would you rather listen to your least favorite song all day or not be able to listen to your favorite song for a whole year?
Not be able to listen to my favorite song for a whole year. Because music that I don't like, Steph, makes me angry. Like, music is deep for me. Music is deep. Like, I am the type of person, I will argue. You know those people who it's like, why do you care so much? Like how men are about sports. That's how I am about music. Like I give too much of a fuck. So if I hate the song, like there's passion in my soul. Recently, my boyfriend was playing an artist that I hated, and I really legitimately was mad. Like
you just had an attitude all day.
Yes, like it would. Yeah, like bro, don't do this while I'm in the car. I can't stand this person.
Okay, so I have to ask you, right now, today, what song do you absolutely hate?
Pussy Talk by City Girls.
Really? You're not with it. You're not with the shits.
Oh, what's another song? Anything by Lil Yachty. Oh God, QC is gonna hear this and never gonna fuck with me. But believe it or not, honestly, Steph, I stay away. I just like if I don't like it, I really try to just stay away from it. You know, I can't think of it off the top, but yeah.
For me, like I listen to the same like playlist every day. So I have Spotify, right? And you build your own playlist or whatever. I have like 2,500 songs on my playlist at this point, which is why I won't transfer to anything else. That's why I don't have Apple Music, because I've had Spotify since before I had an iPhone, right? Yeah. So I'm not building my playlist again. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, there's songs in there that I never remember, and when they pop up when I hit shuffle, I get so hyped. But I listen to my random playlist every time, like, I turn on my music. So it's hard for me to find new music unless people put me on to music, because I get so stuck on the, like, for you, music gives you life, and I stick to what I like, and I stick to what I know. So if you make it onto my playlist, you're lit, because
you're not going nowhere. Yeah. I'm like that too, but I get really excited, like I said, because in this industry, I don't feel like talent is necessarily the driving force. So when I do hear somebody new with talent, or like if somebody puts me onto some dope shit, I become obsessed. Yeah. I become obsessed. And then especially if I really fuck with the person and their music. Like when The Baby came out, girl, I thought,
you loved it.
Girl, what? I thought, like when somebody's, girl, all right. Yeah, I really enjoy The Baby's music a lot. So
I enjoy him too. I think just the way he raps in general, like not even necessarily what he's saying, but just the way he says it and his whole flow. Yeah. It's very catchy. It's very make you feel good type shit. Like you can't help, because he has an infectious smile, right? And you can hear his smile through his rapping, and I love that. Like that
his personality, you can hear his personality through his rapping. Lil Wayne is like that also. Like Cash Doll is like that.
Right.
Some people you just like they rapping and you can like literally feel their personality. I love it.
Yeah, and that's amazing. Okay, so this is the last one. Would you rather go to a randomly selected concert once a month, or go to a concert of your choice only once a year?
I would love a randomly selected concert once a month. Yeah, that's cool, because eventually you got somebody you like. You're going to be at somebody's concert, right? I feel like the odds are better if you do it. Yeah, I think that's
and
cool.
then you can find new people as well. And things like that. And then there's people who open up and all of that. Like,
but the genre, it would have to be a hip-hop genre. I wouldn't go if it was like any genre. The random selection would have to be hip-hop, yeah.
Like you're not doing the symphony.
Or like country. Like I'm not doing it, yeah.
You're not with the shits.
Nah.
Okay. So we're going to go into our first segment, which is the Eat Your Heart Out segment. And if this is your first time listening to the podcast, it's where we talk about, diet trends, ways to eat, things to just help you out. And as a podcaster, I've noticed that I've also had to take care of my voice, especially before recording. Like I can't be all crackety. I can't be all nasally. Like all of that comes off when I'm recording my podcast, and I don't want to sound crazy. So today I wanted to talk about something that's called the singer's diet. And I found an article on soundfly.com, and it's the singer's diet, 20 things vocalists should and shouldn't eat before a show and why. So singing utilizes muscle movements and contractions in your diaphragm, voice box, mouth, and sometimes even your extremities in a highly controlled way. So they give you a bunch of lists of things that you have to stay away from. So I'm just going to tell you what that is real quick.
I bet I can name them.
Let me see if you can name
dairy, milk, cheese.
That is literally the first one.
Yeah, because it's inflammation. Like I said, I used to do plays back in the day, and I actually had nodes on my vocal cords, so I almost had to get surgery. So yeah.
Oh,
so
wow. Is that from like overuse? Is that why you got like
not using it properly? If people sing from their throat and you're supposed to sing from your stomach. So
Right.
professional singers sing from their stomach. But if you don't know, some people have great voices, but they don't know how to use their instrument. And you can literally ruin your voice. SZA had to get surgery. Adele had to get surgery. Like, it happens all the time.
Right. Because if you're not taught in the correct manner how to do something.
So I had to literally go to lessons to learn how to not only sing, but I had to learn how to talk. Because I would talk so loud and so aggressive that it was like killing my vocal cords.
Oh, wow. I'm sure. Listen, I talk loud all the time. People tell me when I get excited, it's like I go up 10 octaves.
Me too. And I hate it. Like, people all my life is like, yo, you are loud. Like, and it's so embarrassing because you're really not trying to be. I'm like, then it makes you like not want to talk at all, you know?
Right. So I'm going to say this real quick. I just came back from Puerto Rico and, everything closes at like 10. And I'm going to give the full story coming up soon on a future episode. But me and my friend, we found like, it was basically like a speakeasy, right? But everybody had to be quiet as fuck. So we were playing Jenga. You can't play a game with me. I'm drinking. Like, how the fuck you expect me to be quiet? So the thing fell and I'm like, the guy literally had to come up to me like, can you lower your voice? And I'm just like,
oh my God.
I was like, I'm sorry. I just get so excited and I get loud.
Steph, that happens to me at least 3 times a week. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so embarrassing though. Like, I get so embarrassed. Isn't that weird? But like, I embrace it in my art. I embrace it in my music, my podcast. I embrace my loudness. But like out in public, it's like, oh my God. When
people look at you like you're crazy.
And now I'm like, okay, how many people feel like I was OD loud? You know, like if he's saying something, did somebody complain? Like, fuck.
Right. Like, well, am I really just bothering people? They're just trying to have a good time and I'm here just getting on their nerves probably.
Right. And being black. Like, you don't want to be, I mean, fuck it because fuck them. But like that loud black girl with the purple hair. It's like, okay. Feel me?
So milk, yogurt, cheese, and other dairy, that was on the list because it can also cause acid reflux that can creep up your esophagus and burn your vocal cords. In all cases, it tends to cling to everything in your throat, thickening the mucus that's already present. This inhibits your flexibility and makes you want to clear your throat more often, which makes sense because that happens to me all the time because I fucking love cheese and I have a problem. So... Other things that they talked about was processed sugar. Overly sugary foods don't help you. They can literally wear you out while you're singing too. They're saying because you can have a high and then you crash.
Yeah.
So when you're singing, does that it takes a lot of energy? I'm assuming.
First off, okay.
I wouldn't know because I only sing in the shower, so I have all the energy in the world.
Singing is very hard. What a lot of people don't know is that the vocal cord is a muscle, just like every other muscle in your body. If you woke up and was to run 6 miles, you would be in pain. Right, so when you wake up and you scream at the top of your lungs, you're literally killing your vocal. You have to think about your vocal cords like a muscle. So really, before you sing, you have to warm up. Like when you hear those singers doing da 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 da, it's a reason. Yeah. It's a reason. Like Beyonce, when she's on tour, her diet is crazy. Not for her body, for her voice. For her, like you said, if she was to get up and drink sugar and eat a bunch of sugary shit, her high notes might be flat. Like this shit it's real. Like singers are athletes. Performers are literally athletes.
I mean, that makes sense. Whatever you're doing with your body, you have to train your body to do, right?
And a lot of people give like Mariah a hard time recently. SZA, like people say like, oh, they can't perform live. Sometimes it's just they don't know how to use their vocal cords. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can have a great voice, but you be so worn out because you've sung every single night on tour and you've exhausted it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. A few years back, I saw Donell Jones in concert. Or it was like, one of those Valentine's Day shows that they do.
Oh, that's romantic.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. And I remember thinking, like, he just sounds terrible. But again, he hadn't, these Valentine's Day shows is usually people who haven't been around in a while. So he hasn't really come out with new music in like 10 years. He's also a smoker now, which fucks up your vocal cords too. So it was just like, I felt bad. I loved his music still, but like you could see him struggling while he was up on that stage.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not easy. Like, I really empathize with performers because, like, performing on, like, people don't realize how hard it is. You know, I really feel like we don't appreciate performers enough, honestly, because they're, like I said, we are athletes, you know? It's not easy. And that's why I take it so serious.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
So other things that you should stay away from is also caffeine, which is a diuretic, because it can actually dry out your vocal cords. You need your vocal cords to stay lubricated in order for them to work well. Chocolate, because it has caffeine and it has sugar and it can cause acid reflux, which is crazy. Fried foods, anything that has been deep fried or prepared in lots of oil, tends to gunk up your vocal cords with too much fat. Ice water. So they're saying that when you drink anything, it can't be too cold or too hot because it can constrict your muscles in your throat. I love ice water on a cold day. Like, I love me a cold ass, whatever, if I had it in the freezer or whatever have you, a bottle of water. But recently, I've been drinking more room temperature water. And I just feel like it makes me feel a little bit better. I don't feel like, when you drink something really hot or really cold, like you feel it surge through your body as soon as you drink it.
I hate it. Well, I like room temperature always, regardless. Like, even if I'm not singing, it has to be room temperature. The only issue is that when you're out of breath or you're working out or you're overheated, you don't want no damn room temperature. You want ice water. And this happened to me at a concert. I was performing and I was overheating. I'm exhausted. I've just did 6 songs back to back, dancing and singing. So my mom rushes up to me with some ice water. I chug it. I get back on stage and I felt like my last song wasn't that good because I felt like my throat got fucked up because of the ice water. So that's another thing. Like, it's
always something. It's always something. Obviously soda, because it's full of sugar. Alcohol, because it'll dehydrate you again. Spicy foods can cause heartburn, which isn't good if you're trying to sing. And the last thing they said is that you should definitely not eat. So you have to eat before
don't sing
you perform.
On an empty stomach. Listen. There's some people who have voices straight from God. Like,
right.
And I always say Whitney Houston. When that woman opened her mouth, God, that's God's voice. There's not a spicy food, a cold water, you feel me, a milk or a cheese that would have messed with that woman's voice. The only thing that could have messed with her voice was crack.
Right, but you could hear her voice even when she just spoke.
That's what I'm saying. Some people are just gifted. That, like, none of those rules fucking matter. They don't have to warm up. Like, some people literally get in the studio and it's like, fuck, I want to kill myself. Then there's people like myself, who,
You're amazing. Don't downplay yourself.
No. But I feel like I lean more on my rapping. I feel like rapping is where my, that's where I am, like, great. I feel like singing, I'm average. I can sing a hook. I'm cool. Like, I'm not a bad singer. I love to sing. Like, you can go on my Instagram and there's videos of me singing as well. Like, this, the new song I have called Meet Me There. Go ahead. Oh, you need the new song I have. I'm singing on the hook. I can sing, but there are some people who are just different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There are some people who are just different, and
they just have it, like, I mean,
it's different when it's your gift. I feel like rapping, formulating words, conveying a message through music, that's my gift. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can make words rhyme and mean different things and have a flow. I can do that. But when some people can sing and make you cry. You see what I'm
just
like?
Based off their voice.
Just based off of their voice. It gives you chills. Brandy, Jasmine Sullivan. Like, some people just, you hear a song and it makes you feel some type of way, Like Adele. Like, they just have that. It's different,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
I forgot what the question even was.
Girl, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh no, it was not eating before.
Yeah. I was saying, even though all of those things are true, people like Broadway performers, because they perform so much, they really have to pay attention to that type of stuff. But some singers, like I said, Ariana Grande, that bitch can get on the stage and sing all day, and it don't matter what she eat. You know,
she's another one with a range that's crazy, like
nuts.
And she can mimic almost anybody.
Nuts. And these people didn't go to vocal lessons. Like,
right.
You know, like they're, but there's some people who literally can go to vocal lessons, learn how to do it, and be able to do it. So it's just, I always think about athletes. Some athletes were born with it. Some athletes worked their ass off and got there. Either way, you got there. So
yeah, right. It doesn't even matter at this point.
Yeah,
like, you still have a gift, whether you were born with it or you worked for it. Like,
see, but would you consider that a gift? I feel like a gift is something that you had no control over. You were born with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you had the gift of tenacity, right? So
right. Oh, 100%. And that can be the hard part, because some people have the regular gift, but if they don't work as hard as the other person, you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So like you had said before with Beyonce, basically, like what you should eat are things that you have to give yourself a balanced meal with protein to keep you going, a simple carb to boost your energy. Fresh food is always better for your voice than processed food. Anytime you can pick fresh fruits or vegetables over processed or prepared versions, go for it. So things that they tell you to eat is fresh fruit, chicken or fish, things that are high in vitamin A, which keeps your mucous membranes in your throat nice and healthy. So yellow vegetables like sweet potato or squash, or yellow fruits like mangoes, melon, and peaches are good in vitamin A. Honey, which they always tell you if you have a sore throat, you want to have something hot and with honey, right, to soothe your throat. So that's always good, but you don't want to overdo it because it does have a lot of sugar. And the last one was kind of interesting. It was decaf teas containing licorice root. So they're saying licorice root forms a protective layer over the tissues in your throat, thus preventing irritation in your membranes. Vocally, it gives you a lot of flexibility and enhances what you already do. Make it hot and then cool it down to room temperature with 1 or 2 ice cubes before drinking it. So you don't want to drink it too hot.
So y'all want to hear the ghetto way? Listen, if you all that's good and dandy, Google. Listen, y'all, if you ever gotta sing and maybe you got a cold, maybe your throat just acting up, or hey, maybe you gotta do a podcast. If you need to get your throat together, get you some green tea. Green tea ain't gotta be fancy. Green tea, boil the water, put the tea bag in, cool. You want to put 2 peppermints, but not regular peppermints, throat coat. So you know, if you go to the store and there's like, you know, I think they're called lozenges. Yeah, but it says throat coat. Yeah, throat coat. So it's literally coat your throat. Some lemon and some honey. And you drink that as much as you can. Not 1 cup. Continue to drink it. Pee. Water. Drink gallon of water if you can. Just keep those liquids going, and I promise you, your throat will be where it needs to be.
That is a good hack. I love that. Okay, so we're going to go into our next segment, which is Heart on My Sleeve. And this is where we get a little bit deeper. So, we spoke about nutrition, all that jazz. Cool. Now we're going to speak about us, okay? This week, I wanted to talk about, because a couple of months ago, I think it was already, time is just flying by, but you posted the WAP freestyle, right? And I wanted to talk about handling criticism on social media, because I know you had a lot of good feedback about it, but then you also had shared with me that you had some like negative shit that people were talking. Of course,
yeah. Well, I mean, I've been a performer since I was 10 years old, and I kind of had a viral moment before viral was a thing. But it was on YouTube, so this was before like any other social media. So if you go on YouTube right now and you type in "girl from VA," it's me when I was 10 years old performing on the Apollo. I say all that to say, yeah.
I'm going to look for it. I'm so excited.
Okay. But I say all that to say, I saw negative comments about me when I was very, very young. This is when I was like 11 and 12. I could go on the internet and see people talking bad about me. So it's kind of something that it didn't bother me. You know what? When I'm in my bag, if I'm feeling good about myself, it doesn't bother me. It only bothers me if I'm feeling insecure. Which, as an artist, that's all the time. A lot of people, artists, we come off really strong and confident, but we're sensitive about our shit. Like, what did the Queen Erykah Badu say? Like, we're sensitive about our shit. So there's always that little space of like, well, is it good enough? Am I good enough? So sometimes when you see those comments, it makes you feel like, oh, maybe it's not. It tricks you. With that being said, WAP, fuck that. Because none of it... Listen, if you want to like talk about my talent, that would hurt my feelings. But if you want to call me a slut, or if you're mad about me talking about my pussy, that will never ever hurt my feelings. Ever.
Because you know who you are.
I couldn't care. Those sexual terms that men created to try to embarrass us, it's a wrap. It's 2020. Like, that shit doesn't mean anything to me. And the only people that had an issue with it were people that were 50 and above. And why the fuck are you on my Instagram anyway? I'm like, these old ass people. No, it's not.
You're not my audience. Like, this is not catered for you anyway. You can mute me if you don't want to follow me. And my issue,
right. And the thing about me, Steph, I rap about a lot of things. Like, you can go on my page. I've rapped about human trafficking. I rap about women empowerment. Y'all don't say shit when I do those raps. Y'all don't. So don't say shit when I rap about wet pussy. Keep the same energy. You feel me?
It's the same thing. Like, people are always talking about how female rappers in general are just always talking about sex. They
don't care about anything else.
That part. Because there's so many other artists out here who are not rapping about sex, and they just don't get any light. So unless you're shaking your ass and doing this or doing that.
Steph, I promise you, they don't care about anything. I could put out something positive tomorrow. And I mean, yeah, some people will say some stuff. Oh, that's nice. Ain't nobody gonna really, really give a fuck. They want to hear as nasty as I can fucking talk. And the more ass you can show, the better. So it's all hypocritical. So, like, of course, they're gonna capitalize off of that shit.
Yeah, of course. Like, if that's where people are making their money, then that's what it's going to be.
And that's what it's always going to be. I'm never going to not talk about my pussy.
It's mine. Why can't I fucking talk about it? I had this discussion with my mom. Like, we were at a diner or whatever, and I don't know what happened. Oh, we were talking about Cardi B, just Cardi B in general. I love her. If anybody knows, I fucking love that bitch. I've been following her since, like, she was in her red room, sharing the room with her sister in the Bronx. Like, she's a Bronx
going to say, are you from the Bronx?
I'm from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
yeah.
I've been following her forever, like, walking down fucking High Bridge and shit like that. Like, she was just funny. She was a comedian from the Bronx at that point, right? And she was a stripper or whatever, but, she was funny. So when she blew up, like, I was like, damn, like, I really felt for her. Like, I really am rooting for her type shit, because I seen her come up. She's always been the same. She has not changed since then. So, like, I fuck with that. So, like, me and my mom kind of feels, my mom, she's a church-going, God-fearing individual.
Mine as well.
Right. So, but, she still has her little ratchetness, because she'll watch Love and Hip Hop with me. So we used to watch Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop. So whatever, we were talking about her, and she's just like, yeah, I love her. Her daughter's so cute, blah, blah, blah. But that song, I just, like, I wish she wouldn't have made this song. And I'm like, Mom, I said, first of all, Cardi has been talking about her pussy for years, and you've always loved her. Right. Like, it doesn't even matter. And I was like, you're upset for what?
Is it because she's a mom? Is that the issue? Because some people, older women feel like my mom, that's how my mom feels. Like, because she's a mother. They feel like once you have a kid, and I feel like I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, you've always made me afraid to have children. Because she put in my mind that once I have a child, my life is over. You're done. Like, And I'm like, that's not the case. That's not true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That I can see that, because my mom definitely pushed that on me too. I remember, my son is 11, so I had him fairly young. I had him at 24, which is a baby. Now looking back as a 35-year-old woman, I'm just like, I was a fucking child when I had my kid.
I'm 26 and I'm scrambling in this life. Like, I can't imagine.
listen, hold off, okay? Know what? If I'm going to give you any advice today is if you can wait to have your kid, wait. There is no rush. I wish I would have waited until my 30s. I really do. I love my kid. He's a blessing, all that jazz. But if I could have postponed it a little bit, I definitely would have. Because when me and his father broke up, I was 27 when I broke up with his dad, right? So I wasn't even 30 yet. I was single, but I had the 4-year-old, about to be 5-year-old kid. And I remember I had an argument with my mom, and I'm like, you want me to be alone for the rest of my life? Because she wouldn't watch him. And I'm just like, she's like, you're a mom, you can't go out. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm a kid still. Like, I'm not even 30. Like, what are we talking about? So, like, we had to have a whole heart-to-heart because, you know, I give it to my mom. My mom, her and my dad broke up. I was around 12 years old. So my mom was like, shit, how old was my mother? Like 35 maybe? My mom was probably my age now, and she had 2 kids. I was 12, and my sister was like 8 or 7. Like, you know, we weren't old. And my mom did not start dating until I was in high school. So I was older already. I could watch my sister type shit. So I give it to her for postponing because that's her mentality. But I'm just like, I'm not postponing my happiness and my joy just because I have a kid. Because at the end of the day, if he would be happy if I'm happy. I have to be happy in order to bring joy into his life. If I'm miserable and sad and lonely and depressed,
then the house is miserable and sad and lonely and fucking depressed. Period.
All of that. So
yeah.
That's all. We went into a whole nother tangent about
Yeah. No. Well, it all comes together because we were talking about WAP and how it was, how everybody felt about the song. Mm-hmm. Yes, people were very upset, girl. People that I used to work with, people that I respect, like, hit me up on some, like, I cannot believe this type of shit. And I'm just like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, if I want to rap about the fucking clouds in the sky tomorrow, that's exactly what the fuck I'm going to do. You think I've made it this far, like, in my confidence in my career, to fucking be like, oh, well, he said I shouldn't do that, so no.
This is what I'm saying. And, you know, I said all that to say this. I asked about the WAP freestyle because the criticism that you received on Instagram. And recently for me, I've actually been posting a bit more risque photos on my Instagram. I just feel like I'm 35 now. I'm finally accepting the body that I have instead of trying to, you know, wish it to be something else or like killing myself for it to be something else. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting my sexuality and all of that. So I like to take pictures. That is my pastime always and forever. I had, you know, before it was camera phones, right? I had the little camera and I would take that shit out with me to the club.
I did too, yeah.
You know, like, that's what we did. We just took pictures. When you were in the club and they were like, the photographers in there, they're like, you want to take a picture? I was, yes. I want all of that. I love pictures. So recently I've been doing it, but I've been nervous about what people would say. And it's not like I'm full on naked. Like, I'm not full on naked on my Instagram at all, but it's a little bit more risque than I had been before. And as much as I preach about, I have this saying, right? And it's, your opinion of me is none of my business. And that's what I tell myself all the time. And even though I say it, it's hard to, girl, I still don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my friend hit me up recently and was like, Imani, like, you're so inspiring the way you just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, see, that's where y'all are confused. Yeah. I give a fuck. You know, like, I just don't give enough of a fuck to not do it. But there's still a piece of you give a fuck still. I don't know if that ever truly goes away. Because even big artists, there's a reason they, like, you can't comment on their Instagram. Like Drake. Unless he follows you, you can't even comment on his Instagram. That shows, like, if the biggest artist in the world gives a fuck about Instagram comments, like, we're not tripping, for sure, you know? You can't give too much of a fuck that you don't do what you're doing. Because there's been times where I'm like, well, I shouldn't post this because I don't know what. Like, see, now that's giving too much of a fuck. You have to just post it and just go, you know?
Right. And you had put something on your Instagram today that made me laugh. And it was like, why do you even have a close friends? He was like, what are you scared of? And I'm like, I'm scared of my mom. What the fuck?
Oh, your mom. Okay. Because some people were like, I just feel like it's the internet. Like it's out there. If there's something that I don't want the public to see, I'm gonna text somebody. Like I'm not gonna put it on Instagram if I have a problem with somebody seeing it, because guess what? Somebody could screenshot it and still send it to my mom.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's 100%.
It's on the internet.
But
you know,
my mom is like social media savvy. My mom knows how to use TikTok before I knew how to use TikTok. Like, I still don't know how to use TikTok to this day. And my mom has a whole TikTok.
I'm weak.
Okay? She goes on live on Facebook. She be on Instagram. Like, all
she be
this.
doing her thing. I'm weak because my parents don't have a clue. My mom can go live on Facebook, but that's it. Like anything more than that, no.
Girl, no.
So your mom is into. Okay, so what's the type of thing you would not want your mom to see you doing on Instagram?
Just like my overly sexy pictures, or like if I'm like smoking and shit. Like she listens to my podcast, so I know she knows I smoke.
You are grown. I am weak. But it's funny, I don't post me smoking weed either. Like, yeah, I don't. I think it's more of a business decision, just because it's not legal. And as much as we normalize it and we love it, it's not. And I just don't ever want an opportunity to come up and they see that and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing. But
no, I get that. 100%. I mean, it's such bullshit, but it is how you have to like realize how you're living your life, right?
Steph, I'm thinking about just starting an OnlyFans. And in that way, I can just smoke weed and live my best life and do what I want. You know, I'm so tired of performing for the white man. Like, I just want to fucking pay my own shit, make my own rules. I'm over it.
Well, I'm just going to put this out here. I actually have one. It's very tasteful nudity type
Period.
shit. Okay? I told you I like to take pictures. Like, I love to take fucking pictures. So at the end of the day, this is how I see it. Like, I had to quit my job in August, right? Because of my son. I couldn't send him back to school, all of that. Everybody's heard this before. I have bills to fucking pay. So if these men are going to be enjoying my pictures any fucking way and want to see these pictures any fucking way, you know, maybe you should pay me for it.
Who am I to give it to you for free?
What do I look like? Like, I don't got bills to pay. Okay.
Listen, I love to cook. So I'm going to be doing a cooking show, a lingerie cooking show.
Ooh,
on my OnlyFans.
That is exciting. Okay, with the content.
But how do you go about promoting your OnlyFans?
Oh, my close friends on Instagram.
Oh, after all that shit I talked, I'm about to make a close friend. So can I just like pick everybody but my family? Can I do that?
Yes. You can literally pick and choose who's in your OnlyFans. I think I have like maybe 75 people and I follow like 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as I'm going, I'm adding more people in it depending on how they react to my regular content.
Knowing me though, I think I'm just going to go all out with it. Fuck it.
But that's how I feel. And it's like in the beginning, so I've had this plan for OnlyFans since like June, okay?
Yeah.
It was quarantine, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I going to do if I lose my job? Like, I'm thinking about all this shit. And I had this whole plan, okay? I had a whole, like, persona that I was going to make. I wasn't going to show my face, and I wasn't going to... And I'm just like, I'm doing all of this, but everybody and their mother has a fucking OnlyFans now. Like, literally, every fucking body. And I'm here worrying. The only thing I was worried about is I have a son. But... my son, he has autism. He ain't looking for me on the internet. He doesn't even have little friends.
He doesn't give a fuck about what you got going on. The internet
ever.
But I think that it's becoming so normalized that honestly, okay, if I'm on Instagram, right, and I post a picture in a bikini, that's normal.
It's the same shit.
My ass out. I'm by the pool. What is the difference?
I had a whole boyfriend, okay? And he used to get tight when I would post my bikini pictures. And I'm just like, so I can wear the bikini, said bikini, wherever I'm going, and everyone can see me in person. But if I post the picture on Instagram, I'm a slut? Like, make it make sense. Please make it make sense.
It doesn't. It's full. They're all hypocrites. All of them, those type of men, they want the slut. They want to fuck the slut, but they don't want you to be too slutty, but be slutty enough, but be this way in front of my family and dress this way and like this on Instagram. But then, fuck, you can't know. Like, it's too much.
How many people you want me to be?
Right.
I'm just one person.
Right. Right.
And if I want to wear a fucking thong bikini, then I'm going to wear a fucking thong bikini. And I wish somebody would tell me something.
But that's, like, I love my relationship because, like, the cooking show was my boyfriend's idea.
I love that.
He's like, babe, he's like, get this money. He's like, these niggas are thirsty. Like, you know, like, get this money.
This is what I'm saying. And it's like, I've come to realize that now because I'm single, right? So I was thinking about, like, oh, you know, these guys aren't going to want to fuck with me if they find, and I'm just like, then they're not, if they don't want to fuck with me for something I'm willing to do and something who's me, then they're not for me any fucking way. Yeah. Like, I just need to find somebody. And I have a best friend, shout out to Oz. He was the one, he was like, yo, like, I would fucking marry you tomorrow. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you're a great fucking person. If you're, so the fuck what? If you are selling pictures on OnlyFans, who cares?
Who cares? I think it's getting really normal. Like 10 years, like, you know, people always want to say when you have kids, your kids are going to grow up and be like, yes, my mom, it was naked on the internet. Everybody's naked on the fucking internet.
Hello.
Who cares?
But my mom also paid the rent every fucking month. My mom also never had me go
But why do we put so much on a naked body? Because you can go to some countries and the bitches, our titties are out and it's the most normal shit ever. Yeah. We put all of that emphasis on it. Men. And now that we're profiting off of what y'all did,
right?
Now y'all got an issue.
Right. When you come from a country where bitches just got rights, what? Like, within the last century, like,
listen,
you know, we're
sis
still
just
fighting.
died. Sis just died. They got us out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was fighting for the shit, and she was still alive. Like, that shit is wild. So it's like, what do you expect? And then it's like, you know, it's the white men, right? They want to control everything. So they're going to control people of color by making us, you know, live in these neighborhoods where we can't really excel type shit. So, like, they're holding us down that way. But then they're also going to hold down women by basically saying that your body is taboo. Fuck that. Yeah. It's not. So I'm sick of this. And, you know, I'm not to wish anything on anybody, but I'm glad the baby boomer, generation is almost done with. Because them motherfuckers.
No, but Steph, but what really, okay, I agree with that. Old people, like I said, why are you even here? I'm not paying you no mind. But what really bugs me is when the younger people have some of that same energy, because, you know, those ideals aren't dying. Like, they pass them on. And
they're dwindling. They're getting fewer and far between.
I agree.
But
like,
I
just
know
people. The energy I got from WAP, I know this OnlyFans is really gonna shake shit up. So I'm just like preparing myself.
I'm so excited.
Gonna be lit. But I'm gonna like put my music videos on there. I'm gonna do like put all my behind the scenes of my music stuff on there.
All
like
your money. Yeah. Bring people in however way they want to come, but then keep them with your content. Fuck that.
Right.
Girl, that's how you have to do it. This is how we have to make 2020 has taught me, like, you have to get it whatever way you can. You know what I'm saying?
Because they not gonna give it to you. This little $1,200 that they gave us in March.
Girl.
It's almost damn near November. And this president supposed to be the money president. Where is the fucking money? I'm confused.
No money. No
I'm
money.
Confused.
Can you believe? And I'm gonna just, this is hard on my sleeve, so I'm gonna tell y'all. So I'm on unemployment because I left my job because
me
of COVID
too.
reasons,
Shout out
right?
Unemployment. We in here.
Yeah. We in here. Okay. I have a kid with special needs. New York State literally told me I make too much money to get food stamps. I pay $1,500 in rent a month on unemployment. I'm sorry, what?
Jeez.
Girl.
But Steph, they turned me away for food stamps as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a kid, but still, like, I lost my job because of COVID. Feed me. Like, what the fuck?
I'm just like, that's all I want. Don't give me cash.
Like, everything that we learned in school or everything we brought up about this country is bull fucking shit. This is supposed to be America, the best, the richest, the greatest, America, the free, the home of the brave. And they haven't helped us. They haven't done shit, bro. I'm
ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, I was talking to my boy the other day and he was like, yo, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but America ain't it. He was like, I'm really thinking, because I'm moving to Florida within the next year and a half or so, right?
Oh, that's
I'm leaving
nice.
New York. Yeah, I'm out. I'm done. I gave New York 35 years of my life. I'm over it, you know?
That's nice.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Something new. And I was talking to him about that. He was like, yeah, you know, I'm tired of New York too, but I'm thinking of just leaving America in fucking general. I was like, well, you know, Barbados is giving those fucking visas, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can live in Barbados as a quote unquote, not a citizen, but you'll have a visa to live there, work there, do whatever the fuck you want to do. I was like, go. I was like, what the fuck you doing over here?
Yeah.
At least be somewhere where the weather's fucking nice.
Right. The only thing, though, about other countries, the only thing is, like, even though America is bullshit, we know the bullshit.
Right.
With other countries, you might think all is well, and then a lion is standing right in front of you, and you're like, okay, bitch. Okay, bitch, I'll take the police. I would rather see the police than a fucking elephant staring me in my face. Because at least with the police, you might have a chance. With the lion, it's done. It's done. So with other countries, I don't know. I'm not smart enough. You know, I don't know enough about other countries. Right. So, you know, even though it's cool to say, I know I would be kind of terrified if, like, I didn't know a language or something and everybody around me was speaking. Like, that would give me crazy anxiety, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, there's Canada, but who wants to move where it's fucking cold as fuck?
Cold, I know. I mean, Drake is there, though. So, I mean, just that chance would make a bitch move out to fucking Toronto.
Not that chance.
Right. When he's probably here most of the time. Probably never go home.
Right. He's never in Toronto type shit. That is hilarious.
And you done moved. I'm weak. Listen.
I'm dead. Oh boy. So we actually went into like our little rant. I feel like I always end my show with a little rant.
Okay.
It's called Are You Dead Ass? Because honestly, like, that's a question.
So New York.
I'm so New York. And that's the shit too. Like, wherever I go, I'm gonna be New York.
You
like,
in New York, but we can't. That's in you. That's not on.
Me.
You know. Yeah.
It's in me. But so before I start because I have a rant that I actually did want to speak on. But before I start mine, is there anything that you wanted to get off your chest? Is there anything that you've seen recently that you're just like, are you fucking serious? Like, are you dead ass? Like, why is this happening right now?
Dang, I wish you would have gave me a heads up. I probably would have had one prepared because it's all the fucking time. But off the top of my head, all these people, right? Mm-hmm. Creating merchandise. Like, there's a lot of t-shirts. There's a lot of hoodies. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sweatpants. A lot of tank tops. Like, there's a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And I myself, I have merchandise. I'm an artist. I sell my own merchandise. Great. I just think that when you sell merch, please just make it not be something we've seen over and over and over. People are making businesses and Instagram pages, and it's like, buy my merch, and it's like, yo, I could get that t-shirt from literally Family Dollar down the
right.
It's like, you know, these concepts, these graphic designs that it's like, dude, we've seen this so many times, and then you're begging people to spend their hard-earned money on something that's not special. At least I know, like, with my merch, I've never seen that before. Well, first, it's my face. But, you know,
I'm the only one that can sell my face, okay?
Right. Like, I don't know. I just feel like as creatives, we need to do better. Like I said, we're competing. Me and you, Steph, as podcasters, we're facing horrible decisions. We're facing, like with time for people to click on our podcast, that's what we're going against. So you want your product to be good. And I just feel like people don't give a fuck about their product. People don't give a fuck. I click play on a podcast and the sound is fucked up and it's coming in and it's going out. I'm like, what are y'all doing,
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think people be too concerned with the bag, that the potential bag of said merch, right, than they are with actually making things of substance. Everybody uses the same companies, right? So it's it's the same hoodies, it's the same socks, it's the same this, it's the same that. So what are you doing to make it stand out a little bit more, right? Because I'm not saying don't use those companies, because when I come out with my merch, I'll probably use those companies too. Right. But I haven't come out with merch yet because there are things that I want and there's things that I want to do with it that I'm not 100% ready, or I'm not 100% there yet. Because when I want to do something, I want to do it, and that's just me being overthinking and all that shit too. But I just want it to look a certain type of way. I don't want it to look cheap. I don't want it to look I don't want people to talk about me or think about me and my merch the way I think about other people's merch.
Well, what's important is merch, y'all, should be a part of building your brand. I should be able to look at a t-shirt and say, okay, that's Steph. I should if I look at a t-shirt and I'm like, okay, so what is that? What
is it? Just words on a shirt?
Or letters on a shirt that you had to ask the person, what does this mean? And maybe you should put your name on it so that people will know that it's you. Or your Instagram name. Literally, the front can be your graphic, at the end, at Instagram name. Let people know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah, that's my rant.
You know what? And this is why I like asking people off the top of their head, because it's so, you don't overthink it, right? You're just nah, this is what annoys me, and this is why.
Because it was something so small, but it just happened recently. Somebody I love, and I hate that I'm talking about it, but somebody I love, came to me recently about some merch, and even though I'm going to support this person, I have to tell them, listen, this is how, you know what I'm saying, as a creative, you want your shit to really stand out, be unique, and you want somebody to look at it and be like, okay, that's her, that's what she stands for, that's different. Because people are buying into you, they're not buying the merch. Anybody who's bought my sweatshirts, they're investing in me. You feel me? We can buy sweatshirts, I can go to Forever 21 and get 1 million. So yeah, so you just want it to be special and unique towards you, I think. So
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so my rant is, recently I was witness to a debate, right? And I cannot stand when people cannot get their point across in a debate without name calling, screaming, just degrading you. Once you do that to me, and it can be a friendly debate. It could be anything. We could be debating about the color of the sky. It doesn't even fucking matter, right? I think it's blue. You think it's gray. No. But once you start with the name calling and the bitch and the that, I feel like I won. Because if you can't articulate what you want to say to me in a fashion where it's not disrespectful, then that means to me that you're losing. When people, they're kicking and screaming as they're being put down type shit, when in a fight or whatever. That's how I feel
Donald
you
Trump.
are.
Like Donald Trump in his debate.
When he spoke about that man's son. No, it's not. But thank you for even saying that. When he spoke about that man's son, I was just is it for all of that? And then all people keep talking about is how Biden called him a clown. And I'm like, but he is a fucking clown.
Yes.
Are you kidding me right now? It's just, it was ridiculous. So
yeah, but no, if you're acting like that, why are you acting it's if you ask your man, yo, are you doing something let me see your phone, and he starts wilding.
Oh, that's it. Now we have a problem.
Right. Like when people turn up, it's like, hold on, why are you so defensive? Look at, I was just wondering, but now I really need to know.
Yo, that is a fact. That is a fact. You always got to keep your fucking poker face on, because once you start with that bullshit, I'm looking at you sideways. Like, okay, now who is she? Now tell me who she is, because I know there is somebody.
Right. Right. The destruction of it all. You get the stuttering, shaking. Yo, you always, and that's why because
you're just like, I'm sorry, what? I just asked you why you had that app open.
Right. Exactly.
It's projecting, right? So you're so upset because of the way, how you're feeling inside. So now you're projecting that shit on me. And it's like,
right.
Sir, calm down. Please calm the fuck down. Okay, so this was fun. I think
yes. Thank you for having me, Steffi. It was great.
I love it. I always have great conversations with you. So
yes.
Tell my listeners where they'll find you, where your music is coming out, when your OnlyFans is dropping, all that.
Period. All that. Okay. All right. So, my name is Imani Blair. I am Imani Blair on all the things. I am ANIBLAIR. ImaniBlair.com is where you can really see all of my history, all of my music, all of my videos, podcasts, everything. This Wednesday, October 14th, my single is dropping called Meet Me There. And it is huge. This is my first single with my new company that I'm working with. And I'm very excited. So I really believe in this song. It's the best song I've ever written. And it really has meaning. It stemmed from, I don't know if you remember when Jermaine Dupri said, all female rappers are strippers. Like he said some really ignorant shit. So it inspired this song. And tune in, Imani Blair. Check it out. My podcast is called Lick the Rapper Podcast. It's a music podcast. It's all about hip hop, and we talk sex. So I like to have other artists on and talk about what they like to do in the bedroom. You know, who they are. We talk about fantasies and all types of shit. So it's fun.
It's a blast. As you can tell from today's podcast, her personality is just infectious. Like she's amazing. I love it. You can catch me on Instagram _SteffiKiss STEPHYKISS. I'll put my OnlyFans link in my link in
Period.
My link tree
okay,
now.
So my OnlyFans doesn't have a date yet because I'm very well thought out. Right now, it's all about the single, and it's all about the single right now. So we'll see, but it will be very creative, and I'm excited.
This is so exciting. I love this. I love creatives being creative. Like that is my favorite thing in the world.
It's scary though. It's scary putting yourself out, but it's exciting.
So scary.
But it's terrifying.
Right, because you're putting yourself out to criticism and all that shit. But you know what? As you've learned from today's episode, we don't give a fuck, or at least that's what we tell ourselves.
Yeah, but you know what? Instead of saying, I'm working on this, right? It's a therapeutic moment. But instead of saying, I don't give a fuck, I want to say, like, I do give a fuck, but I'm accepting. Accept it. Say, okay, I give a fuck. Why do I give a fuck? Am I insecure? Because I know that the talent is there, so why do I give a fuck? You know, sometimes you ask yourself that hard question, and sometimes you'll be like, all right, I'm tripping. Let me just go ahead, you know?
Exactly. So follow the podcast page on Instagram, Do I Look Fat? Please rate, review, subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
5-star.
Yes, we drop an episode every Fine and Thick Friday. See you next week. Thank you. Mwah.
Bye.